Hey, this is for the ones who are trying to make it big, who have big dreams, want to achieve big, are ambitious. Don't let anything stop you. But here's my story. All right, guys, welcome back. Look, I've been doing this real estate for over a decade and a half in the Dubai real estate market. If you're looking for help professionally, there is a link below. Hit it, click it. Let's talk. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. I want to share this story with you guys. It's going to be a personal rant, personal time of reflection. So some of you may or may not know, I went to a business school in Toronto called the Schulich School of Business. I was born and raised in Dubai, but back in that day, early 2099, there were good universities here, but the trend was that people would go to another country for their further studies. They would go to Canada, USA, Australia, New Zealand, UK. I chose Canada, and I went to one of the top schools called the Schulich School of Business. And I remember business school was very easy, but very difficult. Difficult because sometimes we didn't want to work very hard. Anyways, I graduated 2004, 2005, and I still remember that when I graduated from business school, fresh, you can say fresh off the boat business graduate, I had this yearning in me that finally I'm going to start making these big bucks, lots of tons of money. And you know, I never took a pause to let reality sink in. But I never started making the big bucks straight out of business school. Like, you know, I went into some entry-level jobs and so on and so forth. And then when I moved back to Canada, I started doing some real estate in Canada. But when I moved back from Canada to Dubai, I was like, okay, now we're going to start making some money. But 2007, I moved back. I'm not married. And my parents were living in, at that time, so rents had really crept up. My father and my mother, they had moved to Sharjah, which is a neighboring emirate of Dubai. And 2007, like we didn't have the metro, like the tube, the subway. Traffic was at its peak at that time. And I still remember my very first employment that I took up in Dubai. This was one of our first real estate offices as well. It was, I think, about 25 kilometers into Dubai from Sharjah. The actual distance from Sharjah is very, very less. It's not really a lot. Okay, but I used to come in for my 9 a.m. start, and I'm going to ask you a quiz question right now. Like, do you know when I would start from home? I had a 9 o'clock start at work. I'd like you to guess what time I would leave home, generally speaking. Okay, any guesses? 7 a.m. 2 hours in advance? No. 6 a.m. 3 hours in advance? No. 5 a.m. 4 hours before work starts? No. 4 a.m. I used to leave with my carpool buddy at 4 a.m. 5 hours before officially work started for me at 9 a.m., right? So we had like this whole routine plan. The reason we did that was because if you left closer to 7 or 8 or 6 a.m., you would spend about 1.5 hours of traffic. Instead, we would leave earlier at 4 a.m., skip all the traffic, reach closer to work and pray the morning prayer, and then go to gym, shower, sauna, steam room, or sleep in the office, right? And sometimes it was directly pray and straight to sleep in the office and wake up at 9 a.m. But I remember the days I used to go to the gym in the morning. What we would do is, I still remember I would go to the gym, do whatever I needed to do, sit in the sauna or steam room, feel a little sleepy, shower, change clothes and come out. And by 8:30 a.m., I remember I would go and grab this big cup of coffee with whipped cream on top and start sipping while I walked to my office to get there at a 9 a.m. start. But this is now the tricky part. By 9 a.m., I'm feeling pumped up because I've got this coffee in it, like a medium coffee into me. But 9:30 or maximum 10 a.m., I'm done. Like my day is done. Like you got to understand, I started at 4 a.m. By 10 a.m., I'm already 6 hours into my day. My body says like, okay, time for a shutdown, time for rest, right? But it was tough. It was difficult. Do you know when it changed? When it changed? When I went into real estate full time. My why I wanted to do real estate was big enough to push me by God's will and by God's blessings, right? And when I started doing real estate, it was more like, this is my own work, I need to be here. And then I didn't mind coming very early out from my home and going very late back. But one of the advantages I do remember that I had with real estate was that you could kind of take multi-breaks. And this is something for the young amongst you who are starting out. Real estate does require you to work kind of like longer hours, but not all the hours while you're at work. What do I mean by this? You might start your day at 8 a.m., but you could break up at 3 p.m. on a day you don't have a meeting. You could break up at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Or if you've got a lot of work to do, which is going to be done in the office, but you want to go to the gym at 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and then come back to the office when the office is kind of empty and do your work and then go home to rest, you could do that. Because I used to do that because if I wanted to head back home, there would be traffic. So there was no point in leaving work at 6 p.m. just to get home by 8:30 and sit in traffic for an hour, 2 hours, right? So I would just, instead of doing that, I'd join a gym class, a kickboxing class, visit my parents, do something else, or just do some work in the office, like, the work that needs to be done, essentially speaking, or set up meetings, right? So when it becomes your work and you're more inspired and motivated, traffic, the weather, the discouragement, the naysayers, the discouragers, the bad energy, the negative people, that kind of disappears. And you pray to God that they disappear when you're motivated and your why is strong enough. So if you're coming into real estate, have a very strong why you want to do this. If you're really, really, really serious, you'll make it and it'll be easy for you. But if you're not very serious, if somebody's negativity or negative words affect you too serious too fast, it's not going to be very helpful or healthy for you, okay? So I want to share with you my story. I don't know if it'll inspire you, but I wanted to share it with you anyways, because I wanted to reflect on the days when we used to come and start 5 hours before work started. If you have any questions, comments, always in the comment section, you can put them down. Hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. Hope it helps you. Share it with others you think it might help. Bye for now.